Today, I'm going to go over the general eligibility requirements to apply for US citizenship. I'll also include a handy tool to determine your eligibility at the end. Are you ready? Let's go. In order to become a US citizen, all applicants must meet all of the following 10 requirements, unless you qualify for age, disability, or military exemptions. First, you are at least 18 years of age at the time of filing. This one's pretty straightforward. The minimum age to apply for citizenship is 18 years old. Second, you are a permanent resident of the United States for a required period of time. That means you have a green card for a specific period of time. Generally, it's 5 years. But if you get your green card by marrying a US citizen, only 3 years is required. Your time as a permanent resident begins the day you were granted permanent resident status. You can find that date on your green card next to resident since. A few other things to keep in mind for people who are applying through marriage. First, you have to be living with your same spouse during the 3 years. In addition, your spouse must have been a US citizen for the entire 3-year period. And you must continue to be married through the final oath of allegiance ceremony. In the event of a divorce or even your spouse's death, you would no longer qualify for this eligibility category, and you would have to apply as a 5-year permanent resident. Third, you have lived within the state or USCIS district where you're applying for at least 3 months prior to filing. You can't move to a new USCIS district and start applying immediately. The USCIS districts are determined by your zip code. So you can't live in one place and apply in a different USCIS district just because the other district has shorter processing times. Now, if you're a spouse to military personnel stationed overseas, you can choose a particular USCIS field office to apply. Fourth, you have demonstrated physical presence for a required period of time. The government wants you to show that you are genuinely interested in becoming a citizen and have spent time within your local community. Generally, you must be physically present in the US for half of the eligibility period. So for 5-year applicants, it'll be 30 months or 2.5 years. And for 3-year applicants who are married to a US citizen, it will be 18 months or 1.5 years. So if you made any trips outside of the US during this period, you need to add up all of those days you were gone. Those are the total days you were not physically present in the US. If you're thinking about applying for citizenship, you should start keeping track of your international trips, since you'll need to list all of them on your application. And if you don't remember your international trips, there is a government website that you can retrieve your travel history based on the I-94 form. Number 5, you have demonstrated continuous residence for a required period of time. So in addition to physical presence, you need to show continuous residency. If you're not in the US for an extended period of time, it usually indicates that you don't intend to stay or integrate into the local community. The general rule of thumb is any single trip more than 6 months disrupts continuous residency. So keep your international trips less than 6 months and you should be okay. Now keep in mind that you have to meet both the physical presence and continuous residence requirements before applying and during the entire application process up until you attend the oath ceremony. Number 6, you demonstrate good moral character. This pretty much means that you don't have any serious crimes in your past and that you have fulfilled your obligations under the law, such as paying taxes annually and paying off any traffic tickets. Now, this is usually during the 5-year period up until the oath ceremony. However, bad conduct before the 5-year period could also affect this. It's up to USCIS to determine this. Remember, no one is perfect, and it's okay to make mistakes and have minor offenses in the past. However, never lie on the application or during the interview, because that will get your application rejected. USCIS provides more details about good moral character if needed. And if you have any criminal record in the past, I suggest you consult with an immigration lawyer before applying. Number 7, you demonstrate basic knowledge of U.S. history and government. This is the Civics test of the interview. You must demonstrate knowledge and understanding of the fundamentals of U.S. history, principles, and our form of government. There are 100 official questions, and the officer will ask up to 10 questions during the interview. You need to get at least 6 correct in order to pass this portion. I have a ton of videos for practicing the 100 civics questions, so make sure to check them out. Number 8, be able to read, write, speak, and understand basic English. During the interview, the officer will make small talk with you and ask you questions related to your application. This is to make sure you understand the application and determine your ability to speak and understand English. In addition, you'll also be required to read out loud 1 out of 3 English sentences correctly and write 1 out of 3 English sentences correctly. The officer provides you these sentences, but there are official lists of vocabulary that you need to study, and I have videos with sample sentences to help you out. Number 9, you demonstrate an attachment to the principles and ideals of the U.S. Constitution. This requirement ensures that you agree with our form of government and the Constitution. You also agree to fulfill your duties as a U.S. citizen. Last but not least, you are willing to take the oath of allegiance to the United States. The oath of allegiance is a verbal statement where citizens agree to abide by the laws and the Constitution of the United States and agree to give up any allegiances to other foreign countries. It is spoken out loud at the oath ceremony, and it's the last step for applicants to become U.S. citizens. Before you take the oath of allegiance, it's important to read it over carefully and make sure that you can honestly agree with everything it says, since it's legally binding. Number 10, register for the Selective Service. So this last one only applies to male applicants, but all males between the ages of 18 and 25 who live in the U.S. must register for the Selective Service. If you meet all of the above requirements, you are ready to apply and fill out the N400 application. If you're still not sure if you're eligible, USCIS has a handy tool on their website to help you. Just answer the questions, and it will tell you whether you're eligible or not. All right, that's it. I look forward to helping you on your journey towards citizenship. See you next time. Bye.